Have you ever woken up feeling more tired than when you went to bed? If you're over 60, you're not alone. As we age, our sleep patterns shift, and some habits that worked just fine in our younger years can now put our health and even our lives at risk. Today, I'm going to walk you through 7 deadly sleep mistakes every senior should avoid immediately. By steering clear of these pitfalls, you can protect your health, boost your energy, and wake up feeling refreshed. Miss even one of these, and you could be unknowingly sabotaging your sleep and putting yourself at serious risk. So don't skip a second. Let's dive right in with the first mistake: drinking too much water before bed. Now, I know hydration is important. We've all heard the advice to drink 8 glasses a day. But as we get older, our bodies handle fluids differently. Kidneys don't work as efficiently, and balance can be trickier. Sipping a big glass of water right before bed might seem harmless, but it can lead to multiple nighttime bathroom trips. And here's the thing: those trips aren't just annoying, they're risky. Getting up in the dark, maybe feeling a bit woozy from low blood pressure, increases your chances of a fall. Falls are a leading cause of injury for seniors, and they can change your life in an instant. Plus, constantly waking up disrupts your sleep cycle, which can fog up your memory, ramp up inflammation, and even put extra strain on your heart. So, what can you do instead? It's simple but effective. Focus on hydrating throughout the day. Carry a water bottle, sip during meals, and make it a habit. Then, about 2 hours before bed, start cutting back on fluids. If you're thirsty, take small sips instead of gulping down a full glass. Another tip? Put nightlights in your hallway and bathroom. They're inexpensive, easy to install, and can make those nighttime trips much safer if they do happen. Imagine waking up tomorrow feeling refreshed instead of groggy. Doesn't that sound worth a small change? Now let's talk about the second mistake: eating late at night. Picture this: you've had a busy day, maybe you were out with friends or caught up in a good book, and suddenly it's 9 p.m. and you're starving. So you heat up a plate of leftovers or grab a bowl of ice cream. We've all been there. But here's why this habit can be a problem as we age. Late-night meals can trigger acid reflux, which isn't just uncomfortable. It can damage your esophagus over time or even lead to aspiration, where food or liquid gets into your lungs. That's serious stuff. On top of that, eating close to bedtime spikes your blood sugar and puts stress on your heart, raising your risk of diabetes and stroke. And if that's not enough, it messes with your sleep quality, leaving you tossing and turning instead of getting the deep rest you need. The good news: you can avoid this with a little planning. Try to have dinner at least 3 hours before you hit the pillow. If you're hungry later, go for something light and balanced, like a small piece of fruit with a few nuts. This keeps your blood sugar stable and your stomach settled. Let me share a quick story. My friend Susan, who's 68, used to eat a big meal right before bed and woke up every night with heartburn. She started eating earlier, choosing lighter dinners like a grilled chicken salad, and now she sleeps like a baby. She told me, "I didn't realize how much better I'd feel until I made the switch." Can you imagine how much more energy you'd have if you gave your body this kind of break at night? Before we move on, let me ask you, have you noticed how your eating or drinking habits affect your sleep? Maybe you've had a night where you felt restless after a late snack. Think about it, and let that sink in as we keep going, because small tweaks can make a huge difference. Now, let's tackle the third mistake: sleeping in the wrong position. This one might surprise you, because most of us don't think twice about how we lie down at night. But as we age, the way we sleep can have a big impact on our health. Sleeping on your back, for example, might feel comfortable, but it can restrict your breathing, make acid reflux worse, and even contribute to cognitive decline over time. That's because it affects how well your brain clears out toxins while you sleep. On the other hand, sleeping on your left side can work wonders. It improves blood flow, helps with digestion, and supports your brain's natural detox process. It's like giving your body a head start on healing while you rest. So, how do you make the switch if you're used to sleeping a certain way? Start by training yourself with pillows. Place a pillow behind your back to keep you from rolling onto it, and tuck one between your knees to stay comfortable on your left side. It might feel strange at first, but give it a week, and you'll likely notice a difference. My neighbor Tom, who's 72, swore by sleeping on his back until he started having breathing issues at night. His doctor suggested side sleeping, and now he says he wakes up feeling sharper and more rested. If he can do it, so can you. What's one small change you could try tonight to improve your sleep position? As we wrap up this part, think about how these 3 habits, cutting back on late-night fluids, eating earlier, and sleeping on your left side, could transform your nights and your days. Stick with me, because we're just getting started, and the next habits we'll cover could be the key to unlocking your best sleep yet. All right, let's keep the momentum going and dive into the next part of our journey to better sleep for seniors. If you're still with me, you're already taking steps to transform how you feel every day, and I'm so glad you're here. Before we continue, I'd truly appreciate it from the bottom of my heart if you could take a moment to like this video and leave a comment if you find it helpful. It means the world to us and helps spread this life-changing advice to others. Let's jump into the 4th mistake: sleeping in a hot room. Now, I know it's tempting to crank up the heat or pile on the blankets, especially if you feel chilly at night. But here's the thing: our bodies change as we age, and seniors often struggle to regulate temperature during sleep. A room that's too warm can rob you of the deep, restorative sleep you need. It's not just about feeling sweaty or uncomfortable. Sleeping in a hot environment can dehydrate you, increase inflammation, and even mess with your memory. Over time, it puts extra stress on your heart, which is the last thing any of us want. Studies show that a cooler bedroom helps your brain and body repair themselves while you sleep, keeping you sharper and healthier. So, what's the fix? It's easier than you might think. Aim to keep your bedroom cool and well ventilated. Around 60 to 67 degrees Fahrenheit is ideal. If that sounds chilly, don't worry. You can still stay cozy with light, breathable bedding. A fan can work wonders to circulate air. And if you're on a budget, even a small tabletop fan does the trick. Another tip: wear loose, lightweight pajamas made of natural fabrics like cotton. Let me tell you about my Aunt Linda, who's 70. She used to wake up feeling groggy and achy, and she couldn't figure out why. Then she realized her bedroom was stuffy. She started cracking a window at night and using a light comforter. And now she says she feels like she's sleeping in a 5-star hotel. Can you picture how refreshing it would feel to wake up in a cool, comfortable room? Here's a quick question to keep you thinking. Have you ever noticed how a hot night makes you feel sluggish the next day? Maybe you tossed and turned or woke up parched. Keep that in mind, because this small change could be a game changer for your energy and mood. Now, let's move on to the 5th mistake, and this one's a biggie that most people overlook. Going to bed with emotional baggage. Sleep isn't just about your body. It's deeply tied to your heart and mind, especially as we age. Loneliness, unresolved grief, or worries about aging can weigh you down at night, even if you don't realize it. These emotions aren't just in your head. They mess with your biology. Stress hormones like cortisol spike, and melatonin, the hormone that helps you sleep, takes a hit. The result? You lie awake, staring at the ceiling, or wake up feeling like you barely rested. For seniors, this is huge. Maybe you've lost a spouse, or you're feeling isolated, or you're anxious about health or finances. Those feelings can sabotage your sleep in ways that no one talks about. So, how do you tackle this? It starts with creating a nighttime routine that's not just physical but emotional too. Think of it as winding down your heart and mind, not just your body. One powerful tool is journaling. Spend 5 minutes before bed writing down your thoughts. Maybe something that's bothering you, or something you're grateful for. It's like unloading your worries onto the page. Another idea is connecting with others, even in small ways. A quick phone call with a friend or family member in the evening can lift your spirits. If you're feeling really alone, consider joining a local senior group or even an online community. There are so many out there waiting to welcome you. Let me share a story that hit close to home. My friend Robert, who's 66, lost his wife a few years ago. For months, he couldn't sleep more than a couple of hours a night. He'd lie in bed, replaying memories or worrying about the future. Then he started going to a grief support group at his community center. Just talking about his feelings with others who understood made a huge difference. He also began writing a letter to his wife every night, pouring out his thoughts. Slowly, his sleep improved, and he started waking up with a little more hope. Isn't that amazing? What's one small way you could ease your mind before bed tonight? Maybe it's a gratitude list or a quick chat with someone you love. Before we wrap up this part, let's pause for a second. Have you ever had a night where your mind just wouldn't quit, keeping you awake? We've all been there. The good news is, you don't have to stay stuck in that cycle. By cooling down your bedroom and lightening your emotional load, you're setting the stage for deeper, more restful sleep. Stick with me, because we've got more practical tips coming up that could make all the difference in how you feel every single day. All right? We're in the home stretch now, and I'm so thrilled you're still with me on this journey to better sleep. You're taking charge of your health, and that's something to celebrate. Let's dive into the final part of our video, where we'll cover the last 2 deadly sleep mistakes every senior should avoid, and wrap up with some encouragement to help you live your best life. If you've been finding this helpful, I'd love it if you'd hit that like button and drop a comment below. It really helps us reach more people who need this advice. Let's jump into the 6th mistake: ignoring your sleep environment beyond just temperature. We talked about keeping your room cool, but there's more to it. As we age, our senses become more sensitive, and little things like a lumpy mattress, a noisy street, or even a cluttered bedroom can steal your sleep. A poor sleep environment doesn't just make it harder to fall asleep. It keeps you from getting the deep, restorative rest that protects your heart, brain, and energy levels. For example, a mattress that's too firm or too soft can cause aches and pains, which are tougher to bounce back from as we get older. Background noise, like traffic or a partner's snoring, can jolt you out of sleep, even if you don't fully wake up. And a cluttered room? It can subtly stress you out, making it harder to relax. So, how do you fix this? Start with your bed. If your mattress is over 8 years old, it might be time to test out a new one. Look for something medium firm that supports your joints. If a new mattress isn't in the budget, a good mattress topper can make a big difference. Next, tackle noise. Earplugs are a simple solution, or you could try a white noise machine to drown out distractions. My friend Margaret, who's 69, lives on a busy street and used to wake up every time a car passed by. She got a small white noise machine for her bedside, and now she says it's like sleeping in a peaceful bubble. Finally, declutter your bedroom. Keep it simple. Just your bed, a nightstand, and maybe a few calming items like a plant or a family photo. A tidy space signals to your brain that it's time to unwind. Can you think of one thing in your bedroom that might be disrupting your sleep? Maybe it's time to move that pile of laundry or try a new pillow. Here's a quick check-in. Have you ever noticed how much better you sleep in a hotel room with crisp sheets and a quiet vibe? That's no accident. You can create that same peaceful vibe at home with a few tweaks. Keep that in mind as we move to our final point. Now, let's talk about the seventh mistake. And it's one that ties everything together. Not prioritizing sleep as a health habit. Too often, we treat sleep as optional, something we'll get to after we finish that TV show, answer one more email, or stay up worrying about tomorrow. But here's the truth. Sleep is as vital to your health as eating well or staying active, especially as a senior. Skimping on sleep doesn't just make you tired, it raises your risk of heart disease, weakens your immune system, and even speeds up memory loss. Over 70,000 older adults in the U.S. pass away in their sleep each year. And while not all of those are preventable, many are linked to habits we can change. Sleep isn't a luxury. It's your body's chance to repair, recharge, and keep you vibrant. So, how do you make sleep a priority? Start by setting a consistent bedtime and sticking to it, even on weekends. Aim for 7 to 8 hours of sleep. Yes, even if you think you can get by on less. Create a wind-down routine that signals to your body it's time to rest. This could be as simple as reading a book, doing some gentle stretches, or listening to calming music. And here's a big one. Limit screen time before bed. The blue light from phones and TVs tricks your brain into staying awake. Try swapping your phone for a good old-fashioned book an hour before bed. Let me tell you about my Uncle Joe, who's 74. He used to stay up late watching news on his tablet, then wonder why he felt so sluggish. He started turning off screens by 9 p.m. and reading a mystery novel instead. Now, he falls asleep faster and wakes up ready to tackle his day. What's one way you could make sleep a bigger priority tonight? Let's take a moment to reflect. You've learned 7 powerful ways to transform your sleep. Cutting back on late-night fluids, eating earlier, sleeping on your left side, cooling your room, lightening your emotional load, optimizing your sleep environment, and treating sleep like the health superpower it is. These aren't just tips. They're tools to help you feel stronger, sharper, and happier every day. Small changes can lead to big results, and you're already on the right path just by being here. As we close, I want to remind you that you deserve to feel your best, no matter your age. Start with 1 or 2 of these habits tonight, and watch how they add up. I'd love to hear from you. What's one sleep mistake you're ready to tackle, or what's worked for you in the past? Drop it in the comments below, and let's keep this conversation going. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button for more tips to live your healthiest, happiest life. Here's to better sleep and brighter days. See you in the next video.